Right, hiya lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. It's been a while since I've actually made a video. I've been doing a lot of live streams and the stuff that's been happening in between it has took up all my time. Right, so what I've decided to do as my first little comeback video is something that I like to call eliminating the variables. Now this is all about the theory of the Dynamite Dave throw, stance, address, mechanical throw, the whole Dynamite Dave way. And it's all about one specific thing, and that's getting rid of all what I used to call your anomalies, all the little foibles that are in your throw. For the simple reason is, and this all makes like, it's common sense, or it is to me. And it all makes common sense to me because of the engineering background. Like I've said before, if you get a steam hammer and it's just going up and down and hitting one spot every time. Right, so what I want to do at this point in the video is say to everybody, if you haven't subscribed already, if you've only just found me or you've watched hundreds of my videos and you've not subscribed, it costs nothing. All it costs you is a fact of scrolling down there and poking that red button at the bottom that says subscribe. Then click the one next to it which says notifications. So that's very important. Then whenever I make a new video, you will get that sent to you. We've got Skrill, Streamlabs, you can donate to me at any time. It doesn't have to be during a live stream. And then when we have the live streams on a Friday and a Sunday, you can go on and do a super chat. And those donations just help me along and help the channel along, and hopefully help me to get to that goal where I want to be, where I've been absolutely honest with everybody. I would love to be able to stop working doing the work that I do at night times, because I have to do a full-time job to keep everything going household wise and family wise, and I would just love to be able to do this full time. So if you would like to help me to achieve that, then down here you've got Streamlabs where you can donate by card, so basically just a card payment, and it's entirely up to you how much you donate. You've got Skrill, which is fantastic for all the lads in the States, Canada, all those sort of Australasia places, Australia and what have you. A lot of people there use Skrill. There's a link down there to that, so you can click onto Skrill. You do have to sign up to it like PayPal. It's very similar to PayPal. You have to sign up to it and what have you. And then you've got a direct bank transfer, so if you want to contact me at dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com, you can donate to me by just basically sending me a payment straight into my bank. Well, let's say it's a nail, yeah? So let's say we're hammering a nail into a piece of wood. If you've got a mechanical hammer, you set that up so the hammer strikes the centre of the head of the nail every time, and it just goes backwards and forwards, whack, whack, whack. It will hammer that nail in straight every time. You won't get a bend in the nail, it won't round the head of the nail off, it won't do anything to it apart from drive it perfectly into the actual place where you want it driving. If you take that hammer that's going in a straight line and move it off to one side, the first strike will bend the nail straight off. So that is a variable. So if you're varying things, you're gonna get different outcomes. It's that really famous saying, isn't it? The definition of insanity or madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It just can't happen. I've explained this like loads of times to people, especially on the personal coaching videos. I always say to them, the second section of it is change to improve. So basically, making everything right by changing. You cannot improve at playing darts. You cannot improve at anything without change. And that's why we try and get rid of the variables. As I said to one person, and it goes back to as fundamental as this. If you're sat in your living room and you think to yourself, right, if I move the TV from the corner and hang it on the wall, it means that I'm going to be able to put a chair over there, I'm going to be able to put my couch here, and it's going to make the living room better. What have you done there? You've made a change. You've changed your living room to improve the way that it works. It's just better. And you've made a change to make that better. So it's exactly the same in your darts. You've got to try and, well, I'm saying you've got to, you haven't got to. As I've said in all the videos, it's all subjective. What you need to do is, or what I believe you need to do, is get rid of all the variables out of your throw. And all the variables means all these little anomalies. And we see loads and loads of these, especially in the personal coaching videos again, and everybody who's had one out there will absolutely understand what I'm saying here. If you're standing, right, and you've got your throw, so what you're doing is you're cocking your head back like this, so there's one variable. Because if you don't get your head in exactly the right position every time to get your head behind the dart for you to throw it, it's not going to work properly, because you're looking at the dartboard at a different perspective every time. If you're stood on the hockey, and I've had a coaching session today with a young chap, and he was doing the same thing. He was leaning on his front foot with his back foot and just a little bit off the floor. But the difference that it made when he put it back down, if you lift your foot up off the floor and your body is allowing itself to move like this, as you pull your arm up to throw it forward, if your body is moving slightly, then got to be able to pull that dart back, because as your body moves this way, you're in the 1. If your body rocks slightly this way, you're in the 5. And in this, what all the dart players complain about is inconsistency by hitting the 1s and 5s. Some are a little bit more extreme, that are lower level dart players, but that's what 90% of the really good dart players in the pub who play really well, that's where their problem is they're just dragging into the 1s and 5s, and they're missing the actual target when they're going for a double, just inside or just outside. And a lot of that can be just because of a little bit of a rock in the actual stance itself. And that's why I developed the Dynamite Dave way, to make it so as it's ultimately stable. You put your 2 feet solid flat on the floor, no movement in them, that is as solid as it gets. It can't get any more solid unless you actually put your legs into concrete, or you strap them into something that stops your legs from moving, which obviously you can't do when you're playing darts, because you'd have to stay on the hockey all the time, so nobody else would be at chuck. Anyway, away from the little bit of light-hearted stuff. So you get that rock solid stance on the floor there, and straight away you've got the foundations, the building blocks. The first building block, which is the foundation of your throw. Getting that rock solid on the floor makes a massive difference. Coaching videos, live coaching on the internet, each and every person, when I've got them to do this, has turned around and said, I can't believe how much more stable I feel than when I'm actually leaning over on my front foot and putting all the weight onto your front leg. Also, you've got implications there of damage as well, because believe it or not, if you're leaning right over on your front leg, you're damaging your hips, you're damaging your knees, and you're damaging your ankles. And that's before we even go into shoulders and what have you, where you're actually trying to overreach. So this is what I'm saying about getting rid of variables, and this is what it's all about, minimising the variables in your throw. So you've got some throws that out there, you can imagine yourself quite easily, you think about the professional dart players that are on the circuit at the moment, and the different things that they do that are inconsistent. Some of them are fantastic. I mean, if you watch, say, Glenn Durrant, when he pulls that dart down to throw it up, you can, if you watch it carefully, you can see when he's going to get a 180, because he gets each one of those drawdowns and delivery forwards absolutely bang on. Same with Gerwyn Price, who does it a lot more often, obviously, than Glenn Durrant does. But it's the way that he holds that dart, and he can get that actual positioning and the throw the same. That's what it's all about, getting that throw the same 3 times, absolutely pin perfect to get a 180. Absolutely pin perfect to nail a double with your first dart. And that's all about taking all those variables out. So if you decide to give the Dynamite Dave way a go, all you need to do is dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. So email me at dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. Right, so don't forget, little bit of theory this behind darts is get rid of all your variables. The more of those variables you get rid of, the more consistent you're going to become. The more consistent you're going to become, the more accurate you'll be, because you'll be able to, with your consistency, be able to move that dart to throw it where you want to throw it, and you'll be able to allow the next 2 to follow it. So if you're on the wire, your next one will go straight in, and that's exactly what you see the professionals doing. So, thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. I hope this little video has been informative as well as entertaining for you. If it has, don't forget. So thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. Really, really important. Subscribe, hit the bell, bang that thumbs up. Give me loads and loads of thumbs up. And also, comment down below. The more you comment down below, the more chats that happen down there, the more recognised I become by YouTubers, big companies like Shot and Target and what have you. You just get a little bit more notoriety, and obviously I want to try and build the channel now into something that can actually earn me a living. And if I can do that, it'll be down to every one of yous, because you've been so generous and so fantastic supporting me and everything up to now. So thanks very much for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. Don't forget, lads and lasses, as it says on the shirt, you will only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 toe to the hockey!